Hello everyone, I'm Exodia, coming from my college dorm, and I wanted to bring you guys a tutorial on module scripts. It's been a while, and this is something I've had planned for a long time, and I think now is the best time to do so. So, to get started, I have this module script available. Now, why do we use module scripts? Let's get into that first. If you have something like, let's say you're making a tower defense game, and you want to make your enemy spawning or wave system, like you want to spawn enemies every wave, I heavily recommend using module scripts. It's a better way of doing it. It allows less repetition, and I use it for like when I'm making my anti-cheats, stuff like that. Now, module scripts have a special property with them, and that's that you can call them with both local scripts and server scripts. However, if you use the module script on a local script, all of that code will be fired and will only be client side, whereas on the server, using a server script, if you fire stuff in a module script, it'll all be server side. So I whipped up this little module script to give a tutorial of what you could do with it. And so we have this list. And so when you first make a module script, actually, I could show you, you're going to see this module, and it's going to be local module equals an empty table, and then it's going to return that module. And that's because we're returning this module because we have a keyword to use these, which I will get into in a second. So module usage, we'll call this script. And so first, I'm going to talk about some of this stuff. So when you're making a module script and you're writing your code in there, the first thing you're going to notice is when you're making stuff like a new table, you do not need the local keyword. And this is because, in a sense, when you're doing module.list, for example, here, you're just inserting this list into this module table. And whenever you're done putting all your code, what gets returned is the module table itself. And I'll get more into that later. However, you can use functions in here. So we have two functions, a multiply and divide function, as well as this table. You can use any data types in here. You can insert variables if you wanted to edit and use in your game. However, I mainly use like functions in these for like, my wave spawning system on a tower defense game when I've just done some fun work on some of those in my free time. And so what I do, there are two ways you can make a function, and you could do function module colon function name with your parameters, or function module dot divide values. I personally like using colon better. To be honest, I forget which one is better to use. You can really use either. It doesn't matter as long as when you're referencing it on your server or local script, you reference it the same way. And we'll get to that now, actually. So we have our code here. We're just simply multiplying two values, which I'll get from this list, which I'll show you how to do that. And then we're going to divide by like a divisor or something. And so let's go to our server script. And then we're going to need to do something to get this module script, because obviously we can't just work on it off the bat. Now, we're going to do local tutorial module equals, and then now we have a new keyword that we need to use to be able to get these module scripts, and that's going to be require. And require is just basically going to search through and find that module script so we can use it. So we have a pathway to use the table that it returns. Basically, and we'll do game colon get service server script service colon find first child tutorial module. So basically, the tutorial module that we get from require is essentially just our table that we get returned here. And then we get to use all our list here and our functions. So let's say we wanted to get a random number from the list. So local random equals math.random 1 number tutorial module dot list. As you can see, when you do tutorial module dot, it shows everything that we have inside of the table, our list and our two functions. And for here, and I'm just going to use the list, and then local num achieved equals tutorial module dot list, and I think we could do random, And then what we'll do is, we'll actually do this twice. And then num2 achieved. And so basically this is what we're going to use for a multiply function. So we're going to do tutorial module colon multiply values. And then we're going to do num achieved and num2 achieved. And then we have to set this as a variable because we are returning our output local product equals, and then we're going to print our product. Now let's test this to make sure it works. Which, I don't know why I forgot where that was, but okay. So if we look at our output down here, as you can see, we get 100 printed out here. So maybe we got like 10 twice. That's the most logical solution. And yeah, so it worked. We have our product here. Sorry, I was just making sure everything was fine. But we have our product here. And then now we can also take that product and then local quotient equals tutorial module dot divide values. And I'm sorry if you hear that noise. They're mowing the lawn on campus today. So and then we're going to do our product. And then let's say we have like a 3 here. And then I will print the math.floor of our quotient. And actually we'll print this as well. So print product. And we test it. Okay, so we got 24 and 8. So our functions are working, you know. These are the two ways you could use and call functions inside a module script. Now I want to take a small little look at using it on the client. So we're going to insert a script into starter player scripts, and it's just going to be module client. And then we're going to honestly get rid of all this code. And then we're going to do this. We're going to require it. And actually, to be able to use it on both the client and the server, you cannot put it in server script service because otherwise local scripts will not be able to see it. So for now, we'll just put it in replicated storage. That's what I would recommend if you're going to use it on both the client and the server. However, if you're making something with like an anti-cheat inside a module script, only put it in the server. You'll thank me later. So we have our model usage and our module client, which is a server and client script. And so we're going to make two functions, function module.client print, and then we're just going to print this. This was fired by the client, and then function module.server print. And then what we're going to do here is print this was fired by the server. And so this is more so rather just to show you how the relationship works with the client and server and module scripts. So we're going to do tutorial module dot I don't know why it's not filling in. Oh, whoops. Server print. And then we'll do tutorial module dot client print, or whoops, we have to rewrite that dot client print, and this should work. All right, so we got an error. Attempted to call or require with invalid arguments. Ah, that is why. I accidentally put it in replicated first. Just a simple issue. We just move that, and then now we can test it, and it should work again. Okay. So as you can see, our code got fired on the server and on the client. So now if we were to go to the server, we should only see our server code. Oh wait, yes. So I don't know why I thought we'd have to do that. If actually we look here, you could see the client code is in blue here. When you're looking at your output, a nice key here is any text that's in green is done on the server, whereas this blue is on the client. So as you can see, our client code is only firing to our client here, whereas the server code is firing all around the server. So that's just to give you a little idea how any code fired from a local or server script retains that like priority. So like if it's fired from, if the module script has stuff fired from a local script, it'll still only be local, while the server script firing stuff in the module script will only be server-sided. So yeah, that's really all I want to show you for module scripts. It's a bit of an intro, and this is something I've been meaning to show on the channel for a long time now. So I hope that helps you start your deep dive into module scripts. And I heavily recommend looking up more stuff on the dev forum, as module scripts are a very useful thing to use in your games. So yeah, hopefully I can churn out more videos this in September. Um, I'm finding a schedule where I can, so I'm happy I got this out for you guys. Until next time, see ya.